this video is to show you how to assemble the 290 dining room 4 chair in gray. The dining chairs are packaged separately. What's included is 4 sets of legs, the back boards, all of the cross pieces and the seats, your instruction manual, and the hardware. We'll start with one of the leg side pieces. This is the front cross piece. I have my hardware laid out. There are only 2 lengths in the bolts that are used, and they are marked H and G. So in your instruction manual you do have what size to use and a supplied Allen key. So I'm going to start holding upright. It calls for an H, which is the long one, and I am going to try and thread everything at first by hand. And there's a reason that we're going to take it just to where it's slightly snug but still loose enough to move around. The back cross piece is noted by having 2 sets of holes on both sides. They line up with the holes back here. That does use the shorter G screw, so we're going to, again, I'm going to get them in there finger tight. What I have done is taken everything to finger tight. The idea would be, so as you put this chair together, to end up with a even platform so it's balanced, no short legs. It allows all of the pieces to move into a flat position. Our next part is to take the seat bottom, and what I'm going to do is once again line up the holes, and that little bit of extra movement allows you to find the hole. And again, I'm going to go finger tight with all of them. You can use the supplied Allen key, but again, just going to light snug down. Once we have the legs assembled with the cross pieces, the seat bottom on, we'll move to the back panel portions. These line up with the holes, and they use the shorter G-length screw. And again, I'm going to put them in there finger tight, although again, if you need, you can use the supplied Allen key. Now we have all of the bolts in place, and to tighten up on everything, we're going to go in a clockwise rotation and snug down lightly at first. We're not going to actually tighten each bolt at the beginning super tight. We're going to go and snug down, and what I'm doing is balancing this chair out. So right now we can see that it is sitting flat. And I'm going to start over in this corner, and I'm going to snug this bolt down a little bit further. I'm going to come to my back bolts and start snugging them down tighter. Go up to the 4 back bolts, snug them down. Again, not the final tightness. What we're doing is trying to get everything nice and snug while the chair is in a balanced position with the feet. This will come important at the end once you tighten up all of your bolts. And again, we're going to go back to the front portion and go for a final tightness. You don't have to over torque the bolts. You want them tight, but not so tight that you strip anything. And what you should end up with is a balanced chair with no rocking to it. If your chair at the end assembled is a little uneven, the suggestion would be is to start with the 4 leg corners, loosen them, rock the chair a bit till it goes flat, and then come around to your 4 corners and tighten down on the bolts when it's in a flat position. By starting off with the bolts in a loose position and getting weight on the chair itself will help balance it flat while you tighten all 4 corners. My suggestion also is, after using the chair for a week or 2, you can always come around and check your bolts after a week or 2 of use. Make sure none have come loose. We also recommend that you do not rock backwards on this chair in use. It does have a weight limit also of 250 pounds. So when assembling the chair using the supplied Allen key, we don't recommend using power tools that can have too much torque on the bolts and over tighten the bolt. You can use a larger size Allen key if it's in your toolbox, but we recommend using everything and doing it by hand.